It's an energetic data bank where
Yeah.
everything about everybody is recorded. Everything has a record.
Mm-hmm.
This podcast has a record, you have a record, I have a record, my cat has a record, my house has a record. And the interesting thing is that we can tap into this database and download information. And how we do this? Everybody
How?
can do this.
Yeah.
Everybody can do this. I teach people in a weekend, level 1, how to connect with your own Akashic records, how to download information for you. And you only have to be trained and you have to feel like this is for you. But again, this is not a gift. I wasn't born like this. I went through a series of training. I'm sure I did this in past lives. To tell you the truth, it felt very natural when I learned it. But 99.5% of people that register in the level 1 end up doing that. Then I'm not saying some people can, no, everybody can.
Yeah.
And who are these beings that we call the masters of the Akashic Records? Who give us the information, no?
Yeah.
Then these guardians or lords or masters of the Akashic Records are pure unconditional love, emissaries of the divine that are there 24/7, every day of the year. They don't never close. And they give guidance, support, and healing, if necessary, to those who ask for it.
Before we start into today's video, just a few things. And first point is that this YouTube channel, this podcast, thrives through your recommendations, because I don't run any ads, I don't monetize my channel, because I know how annoying it can be when you listen to a podcast and you have to listen so often to some advertising, right? I want that my listeners are able to enjoy a interruption-free podcast, or also when I make my solo videos, etc. And because of that, it's so important that you just hit a like, follow me on my YouTube channel, and when you listen the podcast, then it would mean the world to me when you can give me a 5-star review when you like the videos, etc. The second point is this following episode with Judith was really insightful, and actually I recorded this episode at the 28th of February, I believe. It's a while ago now, and I realized also when I listened now and edited to when I edited the video and listened to it, I had different realizations within the personal development space, you know, with my personal growth, my spiritual growth, and my business growth, right? And I can highly recommend you to look different documentaries, different videos that you really loved. Look them in different time periods, right? Repeat this, because you always look this with a different consciousness, and you have different learnings. You understand different things. You understand different how I should say it, different learnings within this episode, within this video, documentary, movie even. Again, different, right? And you have different learnings. And the third point is, when you want to support this channel even more, you find in the video description links where you can support this channel even more. And yeah, just different offers, different services. Just check it out. And when you want to know anything, when you want more information about a specific question, a specific life situation, then just contact me over email, Instagram, etc. And now, enjoy today's podcast interview. Welcome to a place for open minds, the education that sets you free, and where we dive deeper into consciousness, holistic health, and everything that has to do with becoming a better version of ourselves. Here we really just go with the flow and divine. So let's just start in directly. Today I have a really interesting guest here, Judith Marin Costa. She is an unconditional self-love coach. She speaks passionately and clearly about how we can transform our lives through the power of the love for ourselves. And yeah, now I want just start directly in with the first question. Tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you in a deeper sense, maybe? And how did you find out that you want to work as a coach?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Felix, for having me. It's a great pleasure. It took us some time to schedule this, and finally, today is the day.
Yes.
And I'm so happy about it. And about me, I don't know, how many hours do we have?
You see, we just go with the flow, as always.
No, I'll explain briefly. I always have been interested in personal development. When it was the moment to choose what to do in the university, I doubt about psychology, but I ended up doing something different because I didn't found at that time like positive psychology, but I always wanted to know more about myself and the world and the meaning and the purpose of life. I think that life will guide you towards where you have to be. Because if you asked me 20 years ago, like, Judith, are you gonna move to the US and become a life coach and teach self-love to others and many other things? I would say, Felix, are you crazy? No, I live in Barcelona. I have my own company and I don't have any interest in changing all of this.
Yeah.
But life happens. And life happened in a way that I didn't have any other option than to start looking for answers. I had a perfect life. I was married. I had a wonderful husband, handsome, nice house, a good salary. Then in theory, I should be happy. But I was feeling miserable. I ended up having health problems. I had depression.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do with myself. And I'm good as a coach for myself. And I started looking for answers. And I studied many things. I started with Reiki, then I studied astrology as a tool for self-transformation and self-discovery. And there was a moment that I put some things together. And what changed my life was the concept of soulmates. There was an old boyfriend of mine through a book that I read, a book of Brian Weiss called Only Love is Real, that make me understand that this concept of soulmates that we have, this romantic love, one person that is destined to meet with you and you are going to be happy forever, then it wasn't that. But soulmates are really important soul connections that have like the key of your heart and can access and sit in your sofa every time they want. And many things happen. It's quite a long story that is going to be published in a book one day when I finish it. And finally, I decided to move to New York to become a life coach. And I did it, and then I continued studied, and I did past life regression with Brian Weiss, become a therapist. And then I become a consultant and a teacher of the Akashic Records. And then I become a certified happiness trainer. And as you can see, I learned, I love to learn. I learn things every day. And it became my passion to help others to go through the same that I have been going. And most of my problems, I didn't know at the time, but were related with the lack of love for myself. And that's the story.
Beautiful, beautiful, powerful. Yeah. So self-love is a extremely important topic, what I realize now also in my own life. So
Everyone, everyone's life.
everyone's life, really, really everyone's life, and everyone has to deal with something. Everyone has a package, and I also experienced this now in this whole years, that really everyone has something emotionally they should work on. So I make in quotes should, because I don't like that word anymore so much, should.
Yeah,
But
I understand.
to heal the world, we have to heal ourselves, and then we have to go deep in ourselves, and sometimes, or not sometimes, most of the times, it's painful. It's painful to see the truth, and I saw it now also, especially the last 1.5 week approximately, because I was going deeper into myself, and then I also just found out some things I never thought about it. I just told myself a story that I thought, yeah, that's good for me. That's good for me. So it's with the fitness, with going in the gym, and how this is related to avoiding uncomfortable feelings and avoiding to looking really deeper into myself and healing the traumas what I had in the past. And because of that, I think also your work is so important for the world, and we need more people to do this healing work, and just taking action with the light. So
No, it's the same you are doing, but you have a podcast, and I teach classes and do private sessions. But I became very respectful, especially when I became a coach. I think that was something natural for me, that everyone does things at the right moment for them. And what we can be is the light. When you are lost and you see you are in a boat and you see the light, you know where is land.
yeah,
That's enough. This is not about changing the world. It's just about changing yourself. And the energy that you bring to the table is contagious. People don't understand that, but if you go through life angry and resented and with resentment and disappointed and frustrated, this is the energy that you share with others. And if you choose when you get up in the morning to love yourself no matter what the circumstances of your life are, and to choose happiness, this is the energy that you are going to bring to the people you meet in the elevator, at the shop, in the supermarket, in your office. Then love is not this passing feeling that everybody thinks it is. Like, oh, I love you, and then I divorce you, and then I don't love you. Love is a verb. It has to be demonstrated into action. If you say you love yourself, you have to behave towards yourself in a certain way. And if you say you love others, you also have to do it. And this means to take care of you, because when you take care of yourself, you are able to hold the space for others. You are more calm, you are less needy, You don't want to fix people or to control people. You are more respectful with others. Does it make sense for you?
Definitely, definitely. I think anyway, everything is energy, and also um I'm really deep into soul consciousness. It's so fascinating for me also just what this life is, and I'm really sure that everything is energy. Everything is energy. Just like we sit here now, so this we have a certain frequency, and we just give this frequency out in the world, and we receive also frequencies from the world. So, and therefore everything is consciousness. Just everything has other consciousness. So the plants has other consciousness than us,
Yeah.
or you have other consciousness than me. My dog has other consciousness. So and it's everything about the energy. What kind of energy you give out, with what kind of energy you do your things on a daily basis, right? And
Let me tell you something about what you said, that there is an important realization when you have a level of self-love, that you understand this concept of love is what connects all of us. Is
yeah.
the energy that the universe is made of. It's the highest vibration possible.
Mm,
But in this love, we are all one.
yeah.
Then we are all one means that no matter how different is our consciousness, the plant or the tree or the cat,
Mm,
but we are not interconnected, we are intraconnected. What you do affects the rest of the universe.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we are all this sea, but we are
Yeah.
all the drops of the sea.
Yeah.
And then you really start acting differently when you understand, not in your mind, we are all one. Yes, we are all one, we are a big family. No, no. Energetically, we are all connected.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, the soul connection, and this goes on a really deeper level, but much people are not aware of that, and I'm not sure if they are ready for that, because you know you don't get the school don't teach you this, the normal school you are in, or just in general this the system.
Yeah.
I also had to gain myself all this knowledge, all this wisdom. I also don't want to learn anything in my past, but then I found out personal development, and I saw that there is so much more education actually, uh, that you need to find yourself,
Yeah.
there are
It
some so
takes years. It takes years
yeah,
to get all these realizations and experiences in life and things that
yeah,
happen to you, and everything is welcome. Nothing is good or bad. It just happened. It
it's just
just happened.
yeah, 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 so yeah, yeah, it just happens. And uh when we train our perspective on things, and when we train to raise our consciousness, so with time, mm, I just speak from my experiences, we just react a bit different on, in quotes, bad things that happens in our life, right? We just see them with other consciousness. So but yeah, I have a couple of things now in mind. I wrote also some things down now, what you said earlier already. What I want to dive a bit deeper into it. So, and this was also just coming now with the flow, with the divine, just with the in the here and the now. So that's
Yeah.
not actual questions I wrote me down before the interview. So it's yeah, and this is also so fascinating, just going with the flow, like also in whole life, not only when you have a conversation or something. like that, just also,
Yeah, but this was exactly
you know?
what I needed to change because I am very
Yeah,
analytical.
yeah, yeah.
And the way
So,
I learned was
yeah.
trying to control life, trying to control all the possible outcomes and accumulating information and all of this. Then if you see my birth chart, I'm also an astrologer.
Ah, I have
Oh,
this book.
numerology.
Yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I don't know anything about numerology, but
But
astrology, yes.
it's a bit it's a bit there are, I think, similarities, because
It's
you said
another way.
now
Yeah,
birth
it's
chart,
another way.
and
Yeah, yeah. Then I have a lot of planets in air, all this
yeah,
mental energy. Then even though I'm Earth because my sign is Taurus and my
yeah.
rising, my ascendant is Pisces, that it's water, then all
Mm-hmm.
of the rest of the things are in air. Then I was going through life asking questions. I'm like a good detective,
Yeah.
but all my life was happening in my mind. And there was a moment, especially
Mm-hmm.
when I start learning about the Akashic Records, for those of us that we don't know yet what are these Akashic records.
Yeah.
It's like an energetic library that contains the history of the universe. Everything
Mm-hmm.
about you is recorded. Every thought,
Yeah.
every feeling, every experience. Then what is this information? This
Mm-hmm.
is in this place that we call the Akashic records. It's like when you have the photos in the cloud, but you can download them in your phone and see them in your phone or in your device. Then we do this. I do it in private sessions, but I also teach people how to learn this. And I was saying this because when I started working with the Akashic Records,
Yeah.
I realized what surrender was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I start allowing the guidance, the feeling the things, the being in the present moment and being patient, knowing that things happen within a divine timing.
Yeah.
And this was so big for me because, yeah, we understand what surrender means, but one thing is to understand it, and another thing is to really live by it. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Then, when you
Yeah.
feel like the universe has your back, you
Mm-hmm.
really can relax and surrender.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that happen, and the reason why people don't love themselves, is because we think that we have a plan and we have to accomplish the plan. And when things don't go through the plan, that you plan,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
then you get angry with yourself because you think you failed. When
Yeah.
life have a bigger plan, your soul came here with an agenda to do
Yeah.
certain things and to resolve unfinished business with other people and to accomplish
Yeah.
certain things. But you have free will. You were created with free will, and you can say, okay, I'm not going to do the things that I plan,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing is going to happen. But the universe is going to put you exactly where you have to be. And that's the reason why you chose this family and why you had this boss and this partnership or this divorce or this marriage or these kids.
Yeah.
Every experience at the end is an opportunity to learn and grow at a soul level. And we
Mm-hmm.
reject experiences because we put a label that say, oh, this is bad. Well, maybe
Mm-hmm.
it looks like bad now, but
Yeah.
maybe it's teaching you what you need to go to the next step of your life.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Yeah. This is also a really big thing for me to surrender. So it was the last, mm, especially the last months, I would say. Uh, I was getting much more confronted with that.
Mhm.
To also just let it go, and to really trust the universe, also when it's not looking like that, in the
Yeah,
perspective from
yeah.
us humans, that we just practice so much gratefulness, gratitude. So also just like I prayed before we actually started to record, and just or like I took this deep breath to just be here in the moment and just forget about all other things. Like I was standing up in the morning a bit later as I wanted to, and then I don't make my morning routine and that, but I brought myself more in the mood with the self-love and just said it's okay. I have my methods.
Yeah.
And yeah, there comes also now a question in when we just stay now with that, you know, when you have a bad morning, what do you can give us as a tip, you know, to
Yeah. No, this is a question that I get all the time. And it's very funny because why it is a bad morning? It is not really a bad morning. It's the morning you don't
yeah,
want.
yeah, yeah,
Then when we don't accept reality, we suffer.
yeah,
And we don't accept reality almost all the day of every day. We are fighting with reality, but you know what reality
yeah,
is?
yeah.
Reality is real.
It's just
Then maybe what you have to do is to look at reality in a different way. Then, for example, if we say that happiness and self-love that are intimately connected are daily decisions that you have to make, how do you start the day? When you open your eyes, what do you think about? Because a lot of people, what they do is take the phone that is in the nightstand and connect with reality with the same problems they left the night before.
yeah,
Connect with the news, connect with the emails, connect with the clients, connect with the problems of the day.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
not giving yourself the opportunity to set up the mood for the day.
yeah,
You're just
exactly.
bringing the past into the
Mm-hmm.
present.
Yeah.
Then what if the first thing that you do in the morning when you open your eyes is to think about love, self-love,
Yeah.
appreciation, because you're alive. You have opened your eyes today. You know how many people have not
Yeah,
opened their
exact.
eyes today?
Yeah.
You
Ex
have. You have two
yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
And you can maybe even walk and get up from the bed. Other people cannot walk or get up from the bed.
Mm.
Then your life is a gift. If you appreciate it, it's not going to be a bad day. It's going to be the most wonderful day ever because
Yeah.
you're alive.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
And if it's the
also
most wonderful
yeah.
day ever, how do you want to live the most wonderful day ever?
Mm. Mm. Yeah, there's also a really
And then
good
people say, yeah, but let's imagine that you are driving and someone cuts you off, or you arrive to the office and then your boss is mean with you.
Mm.
You cannot change reality, but you can change your response to reality. Are you going to give your peace of mind and your happiness to the first person that cross your path? No. You remain in your balance because you choose happiness again and again and again. You choose self-love. If I want to be happy today, and you come to my life and say, Judith, we have to reschedule, and you know, I don't want to do this. And okay, I would say, Felix, have a bad day, but it's not my thing. I don't have to be upset because Felix have decided to change the whole plan. It's not my problem. Don't take responsibility for things that are not yours, but
Mm-hmm.
take responsibility for your own feelings, for
Mm-hmm.
your attitude towards life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's powerful, yes. Yes. And just connecting with yourself in the morning is so important. And also just don't get caught up in yeah in all that problems in quotes we have to deal with in this reality. So yeah, there's also a really good analogy. um what is it, how is it, yeah, when I would give you now $1 million.
Mhm.
Well, I don't have right now, but I know it's already here. I manifested it. But so when I would give you $1 million, would you take it? Yeah,
Why not?
probably. Yeah, probably the most people say, yeah, sure, why not? Why not? But when I would say, all right, but you don't wake up tomorrow, would you still take it?
No.
So, and I think this is so powerful. And when I have such a bad morning, or just things don't go how I plan it or something like that, so I just remember on that, damn, how valuable is our life when we would choose, instead of taking this $1 million, just live. It's,
Yeah,
I think,
but now how many people on earth are burnout,
yeah,
stress,
yeah,
and
exactly.
unhappy, and losing their health and their
Man,
life?
yeah.
How many? How many? Millions.
It's so much, and
Millions.
it's increasing mental health, obesity, divorce. This is all increasing, and it's on an all-time high right now.
Yeah, but do we need a wake-up call, or can we learn without arriving to a crisis? Because when I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer at the end of 2016, the first thing I realized, thanks God, it was not something aggressive. I took time to heal naturally. I was monitored all the time, but I didn't do the surgery until 1 year later. And the
Yeah.
reason why I didn't do the surgery until 1 year later, and disclaimer, I'm not recommending this. I'm just explaining that this is what I did, was
Yeah.
because I needed to understand why I ended in this situation. It was very funny because I had problems with the thyroid in my first marriage. And then in the second marriage, instead of just problems of hyperthyroidism, it was thyroid cancer. Then maybe we have to learn something about patterns. Is this area? This
Yeah.
is also the area that is weak for Taurus. I'm Taurus.
Okay.
It's the fifth chakra, the chakra of the expression, the
Yeah.
chakra of your own voice, the chakra of the things that you have not said, but
Yeah.
you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And the surgery was very easy, in and out, but what it took me longer was to discover what I had been doing to myself and to my body to end up with this wake-up call. And I make changes that have lasted until 2024. For example, I go for a walk every day, no matter what important things I have to do.
Yeah.
Because I was working and I work from home, and one day pass, I'll do it in the morning, I'll do it in the evening, I'll do it
Yeah.
tomorrow. Tomorrow was day after tomorrow, and suddenly I was 3 days at home,
Yeah.
not
Tomorrow.
even
Tomorrow.
leaving,
Yeah.
yeah, not leaving my desk because I had so many things to do. Then how I'm gonna take care of others if I cannot take care of myself? Sometimes priorities are priorities but are wrong. Then I made real changes that helped me to go through the next phase of my life. But I was teaching self-love at that moment in time. I was officially a self-love expert. And during that year, I have to say, okay, one thing is loving yourself when everything is nice and good and working. And another thing is to apply self-love when you can die.
Yeah.
Then your happiness becomes even more important. It's now or never. Then the things that I always wanted to do, I did it. And I was creative and I was feeling great. And I was changing and I was reading and investigating and evolving. And it's hard to say because I know that a lot of people have terrible experiences with cancer, but
Yeah.
it was one of the best periods of my life. Scary, yeah. My parents suffer because my mother wanted me to do the surgery day one, and I
Yeah.
waited because I needed to understand why this happened.
Yeah. 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 Yeah,
and to
definitely.
be sure that it's not going to happen again.
Yeah, so sickness is sickness is also really interesting topic, and I dealt also already with some challenges in my life, what I was overcoming, some more, some less, but it's always the body or our soul want show us something with that, and we have to look in ourselves. There's no other way. And I am also a really big believer that so much from all that sickness that exists in the world that people experience has something to do with our emotions, have really something to do with our emotions. And
Yeah.
when we don't look in ourselves, then and when we have cancer or something like that, then it looks really bad for us. And I know also uh, a person, when I was in Sweden, there was one person I met, and I also worked with. I was an employee there back then, and she had also cancer, and she healed herself without any chemicals, and I mean that's a and there are so much other stories out there that's so inspiring, so inspiring that you can just heal yourself. You have everything you need in yourself,
Yeah.
so you just need to you just need the right
Yeah, this
lifestyle.
is
And
this is not totally true in all cases. Sometimes we have to help our body because the damage
yeah.
is too much. But
Mm-hmm.
this is the research that I did during
Mm-hmm.
this year that I was trying
Mm-hmm.
to heal naturally.
Yeah.
And this was the at that moment I had a workshop that was called Fall in Love with Yourself. But after the
Uh-huh.
cancer experience, I created another workshop called Fall in Love with Your Body.
Okay.
Because yes, you are right. There is a connection between the emotions and our
Mm-hmm.
attitude towards life and every illness. But I started doing research of who has been saying that. Then there is a German doctor. I'm not going to pronounce it correctly, but because you are German, you can help me. Rieder Dahlke. It's a German. I'll send you the information if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
He had a very first book, very successful, that talks about the illness as a path. And
Mm-hmm.
then he has like a dictionary of symptoms and the correlations with emotions, why this part of the body and not that part of the body, and all of this, and explains, no, that we have all our weak areas. When people have problems in the stomach, the other in the kidney, the other in the brain.
Yeah.
And it is because different emotions correlate with different parts of the body, different attitudes. It's very
Yeah.
interesting because
Yeah.
intelligent doctors, not
Yeah.
just therapists or healers or shamans, intelligent doctors
Mm-hmm.
have seen that certain people that come to see them have
Mm-hmm.
certain things in common. And
Mm-hmm.
then they start putting all this information together and
Mm-hmm.
they understand that we are not mind or body, we are mind, body, soul, or connected. Then
Yeah.
all the things
Exactly.
that are happening to you are happening at every level.
Yeah.
It's not that your mind thinks certain thoughts, but your body is totally healthy. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then the emotions are the language of the body, and every emotion affects your body.
Yeah.
If you are in love, your immune system goes up
Yeah.
exponentially. And if you feel frustrated, disconnected, and bad about yourself and your
Yeah.
life, your immune system goes down
Yeah.
exponentially.
Yeah, exactly. It's again with the energies. With the energies, there is also a picture. So Maybe I can search it and then I can put it in when I edit the video, but there is also your light body, and then your frequency around you. And when you have fear, when you live in this fear, your field is much smaller than when you live in love. It's so much bigger. And I I mean, it's so powerful, but you
Yeah,
you
it
you
is.
don't learn this in this normal system, in quotes. This, you just have to
No,
teach
no,
it
this is,
yourself.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
have to find coaches, listen to podcasts, looking videos, reading books, just investing in yourself.
yeah.
It's yeah, it's so important. um so I I still have so much now what I wanted to talk about, but yeah, we just have to make it step by step. And um
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a long
it's
topic. I can talk during a week.
yeah,
So
exactly. This non-stop, when you just go one time in this rabbit hole, in this hole, personal development journey, spirituality, and so yeah. You don't come out anymore. So, because there's always something new to discover, always something new to learn when you open your mind. So, and you
yeah,
can learn
yeah.
from everybody something. um
Yes.
yeah. So but you said also, you talked also earlier uh, about the Akashic Records.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I think it's so interesting, so super interesting. And anyway, like, I love to go deep, as deep as possible. And as my listeners who listens also more from my stuff, they know it. So it's completely fine. Yeah, maybe we can go a bit
Yeah.
deeper
Yeah,
into
let's
that.
talk about the Akashic Records.
I also wrote me down, and also from my research a bit. I don't research so much about it, I have to say to that. But in my perspective, in my understanding, it's like a big data bank, like,
Yeah, exactly.
oh,
Yeah, it's an energetic data bank where
yeah.
everything about everybody is recorded. Everything has a record. This
Mm-hmm.
podcast has a record, you have a record, I have a record, my cat has a record, my house has a record. And the interesting thing is that we can tap into this database and
Yeah.
download information. And how we
Mm-hmm.
do this?
Yeah,
Everybody
how?
can do this.
Yeah.
Everybody can do this. I teach people in a weekend, level 1, how to connect with your own Akashic records, how to download information for you. And you only have to be trained and you have to feel like this is for you. But again, this is not a gift. I wasn't born like this.
Hmm.
I went through a series of training. I'm sure I did this in past lives. To tell you the truth, it felt very natural when I learned it.
Mm-hmm.
But 99.5% of people that register in the level 1 end up doing that. Then I'm not saying some people can, no, everybody can. Then
Yeah.
who are these beings that we call the masters of the Akashic Records? Who give us the information, no?
Yeah.
Then these guardians or lords or masters of the Akashic Records are pure unconditional love, emissaries of the divine that are
Mm-hmm.
there 24/7, every day of the year. They don't never close. And
Yeah.
they give guidance, support, and healing, if necessary, to those who ask for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important, those who ask, because if you don't ask, they may not volunteer information. Then, as I
Yeah.
said before, we are born with free will. and they respect our free will. All the pressure that you feel in life to perform doesn't come from the divine. It's self-pressure. The divine loves you exactly as you are right now. Even though we are all work in progress, you are loved exactly as you are. You don't need to be fixed. You don't need to be healed. But if you want to be helped, you can be helped as an act of grace. Grace is the divine intervention, and it's given to anyone that asks for it, just because you ask for it. But you don't need a session or you don't need a class to ask for grace. If you ask for help, the divine will help you. Sometimes we don't know how to ask, or we forget to ask, or we don't believe that we can receive. And that's another topic. But the Akashic records are always there. Then when you learn, when you have this, let's say, tool, it's more than a tool, but when you know how to connect, how to tap into this field of information, you do it by asking questions. Like you journal, you ask questions, you receive the guidance, you receive the answers, you ask another question, you receive. Then you can ask anything. It's like having an oracle open 24 hours for you for anything. You can ask how I make more money, or what is the purpose of my life? They answer any question. How do I pay my credit card? I have one day a problem with American Express. I always say this example because it's pretty practical. And American Express, there was a problem, and instead of charging me the 10%, they charged me the full amount. That was all. And of course, there was enough money in the bank. It created a big problem. Then it was a mess. I got so nervous because I didn't know how to resolve this. And I opened the Akashic Records and I asked them, like, what do I do? And they say, you are going to call American Express and don't worry, it's going to be resolved. And I say, yeah, sure. Yeah. So simple, no? I'm going to call, they're going to resolve. It was true. I called. It took me 1 hour on the phone, but I called, they resolve it. They give back the amount. They pay the fee that the other bank charged me. They apologize, and everything was resolved. After 1 hour on the phone, but everything was resolved. Before opening my Akashic Records, I didn't believe that it's going to be resolved. I thought, I have a problem, it's my problem, and I don't have the way to resolve it. And I trusted.
So, but maybe maybe with some topics it's a bit longer process, you know, that
yeah, of course,
it comes with time and you need patience, and also
of course,
that you train yourself to tune into that Akashic records, right? So that,
but you do it every day. Then if there is a topic that has different, different layers, like peeling the onion, you ask, and then you talk again with them about this, and you talk about this with them. You know, when you have done some healing and you say, oh, this is resolved, I'm done, I get it. And then 6 months after, you are in the same situation, and you say, oh God, I thought I get it, but I didn't. You go to the Akashic Records and you say, no, like, what else do I need to know? Why is this happening again? Is there anything that is hidden, that is matched, that I'm not seeing? How can I resolve this? And they will give you the next dose. Yeah, I mean, you have resolved this, but there is also ancestral influences, or there is something that you have not forgiven, or there is some unconscious patterns of thought and behavior, or there is whatever it is. They will give you the next dose. They are not going to open the Pandora box and say, oh, this is all the mess that you have, and here you have. No, the information is given to you in a way that you can manage it. They meet you exactly where you are. And that's the beauty of this work. Because they are not going to tell you anything that you cannot handle. Because they love you unconditionally. They know who you are. They see your soul from the inception of your soul, the separation with the divine. All this, we call it past lives for understanding. Past lives, real incarnation right now. and the future development of your soul. They know who you have been, who you are, and who you can become.
So some people maybe would say now also, yeah, that's just your unconscious mind, you know, or subconscious mind that tells you something you have to do or something like that. How do you
In the level 2 class,
you know?
you learn how to open the Akashic records of anyone or anything. That means that you can do consultations with other people, with your friends, family, or just as a business. And then you have a client in front of you and you receive confirmation. Channeling for others is much more simpler and easier than to channel to yourself, because when you channel things for yourself, you go against your belief system, your fears, your ideas, everything that you know about the past. But when I do private sessions, when I do consultations for others, I don't know the person. I don't know anything about the person. It's much easier because I'm a neutral channel. I'm a pillar of light for this person that comes to me. And I'm an intermediate person. For me, it's like hearing the radio. The person asks a question, I ask a question to them, they give me the answer, I hear it. And then I give you the answer. Then it's not your unconscious, because how I'm gonna know if this happened in your past lives, or this is the problem that you have with your mother, or this is whatever it is. People sometimes ask for confirmation. And they are amazed, like, oh, this is totally right. And I say, of course it's right. I mean, we're talking about you. We're channeling for you, not for your neighbor. But you have to be trained properly to be a good channel for others, to be a good consultant. A good consultant is this individual not only have done a class, but it's an individual that knows how not to interpret the information. Proper channel receive and have to say exactly what it receives. You cannot like add information or put it nicely, or oh, the client is not gonna like it. Let me say, but don't worry. No. You have to use exactly the words that you receive. I'm not doing anything in a session. The masters of the Akashic records are doing everything. I'm just a servant here.
So then I think it's really much also coming out of your heads, coming out of your mind. And
No, what
just,
happens when I read this prayer. I'm doing this interview with Akashic records of the interview. Then apart that I know this topic because I have been working in this for years now, more than 10, I have the ability to open the Akashic records of the interview. Then whatever is coming from me. But if they have to add something, they will let me know. Then it's a very useful tool to have, because you can open the Akashic records of a business, of a deal, of a podcast interview, of whatever you want. Then these beings are there to help you in whatever circumstance you are going through. Then when we read this prayer, we are asking permission to receive. We are asking permission to do this kind of work in the love and the light, with the divine on our side. And we are asking permission to receive whatever we can receive right now. Then it's a safe session. It's done with integrity and professionalism. And you have to be sure that you take care of yourself. We come back to the self-love topic. That you take care of yourself to be able to be a channel, because what happens is some people feel it. I don't really have an energy sensation, but the energy comes through the crown
The
chakra from
crown
here.
chakra, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, some people feel it in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like there is when you turn on a switch, then for me, I feel I'm in the Akashic Records and I start receiving very clearly. But there is something that happens that uplifts you to a level of consciousness to be able to do this work.
Mm-hmm.
I am what is said, the way I train people, and I was trained by Akashic Records Consultants International. I'm a conscious channel, what means that I'm here talking to you, eyes open. You don't notice anything. If I don't tell you that my Akashic Records or the Akashic Records of the interview are open, you will never know.
Yeah.
I remember everything I'm saying. I'm here, I'm in the moment, I'm with you, I'm connected, looking at your eyes, beautiful eyes that you have. And it's just very normal. But when I finish the interview, I close the Akashic Records of the interview. Then thank you for your help and goodbye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, do you think we could give the listeners so an example how you make that when you have clients, maybe with me, when you channeling something? So just
Yeah, but I would love
focus.
to do it properly, because it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
take some time, and we
Mm-hmm.
cannot open the Akashic Records just for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Then I invite everyone to
How?
join us for
Yeah.
part 2,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I open your Akashic Records and we do a
Mm-hmm.
session, and I'll explain people. It can involve some healing,
Mm-hmm.
and we can do just a real demonstration.
Mm-hmm.
You can ask any question you want, and we will do that. But it's gonna take us half an hour more, and I have another interview.
Oh,
And I don't want to
okay.
rush.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
do it calmly and
Exactly.
properly, and offer you and the listeners the gift
Mm.
of seeing how this happened in real time,
Mm.
and to enjoy the experience. Then whenever
Yeah.
you want, we connect and we do this Akashic Records real
I
experience.
I guess this would love uh, everyone who listens. So real life yeah experiences. So um yeah,
No, and
but
the people are fresh. We have been talking for an hour.
yeah.
Some people get tired, and we have been going from one topic to another. Then the next interview, we just focus on self-love and Akashic Records, and we open the Akashic Records in not before, like, but I'll explain you how we can do it. And we work with Akashic Records, and you will have to prepare your questions,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll explain you how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want, we'll do that for you and for everyone.
That's amazing. That sounds amazing. So yeah, then we come slowly to the end, I would say. So I have some questions I ask everyone always.
Okay.
So it's 3 questions. First one. So what is the best investment people can do?
The investment in knowing themselves and accepting
Mm,
themselves as they are.
yeah. So yeah, just the investment in yourself, right? So it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's every person or every expert and so every coach, etc. I ask, they all say the investment in yourself. Even the biggest investors say also best investment is in yourself. Yeah. And do you have any book recommendations or movies or both book and movies? What
Yeah,
you
I have a long list of books in every workshop I teach. There is a
Oh,
page that
okay.
says bibliography. Now it has to be videos also, but people can find out about the videos if they like the
Yeah.
author. But my favorite book is called The Mastery of Love from Don Miguel Ruiz. It's a very easy book to read. It's not
Mm-hmm.
only about self-love, it's also about love, but it contains like gems of wisdom about love and
Mm-hmm.
what is love really. And I can recommend 10 more, but I think that this is my favorite.
Okay, okay, beautiful. And the movie also? Do you have a movie?
No, I have romantic movies that I like.
Okay, okay,
But
yeah.
yeah, that are my favorite movies, but because I'm a romantic at heart. But
Uh,
it's more documentaries, no?
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
things that you can see in Gaia, sometimes in Netflix,
Yeah,
this thing, no, about healing or about some healer or about how the universe works and all of these
yeah,
things. But I don't have a favorite movie in terms of work.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I will say Dirty Dancing, but because I like romantic movies and
Ah,
dance.
yeah, 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 yeah. But yeah, Gaia is also, I have it also. It's so good. It's the, I say always, it's the Netflix for spiritual people.
Yeah, but nowadays in YouTube you have tons of
Yeah, YouTube
resources.
also. It's
And I love, for example, in terms of well-being, the work of Joe Dispenza. And
yeah,
I follow many interesting people, and I listen to many podcasts. I
yeah.
multitask sometimes. When I go for a walk, I listen and I
Okay,
listen
yeah,
again. And
yeah.
my recommendation is audiobooks, audio podcasts, and all of these things are one of the easy
Yeah,
ways to connect.
yeah,
And just start listening and see what resonates. And then when you listen it again, it's different because
yeah,
you have
definitely.
changed, you have evolved. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah,
books and videos. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. I have also, for me personally, some videos that I, or also movies that I look again and again and again. So just in different time periods. So, and I always, when I see them, I look them with a completely other consciousness, and I just get
Yeah.
other learnings, etc., etc. So, yeah, or after that also I get some downloads, but maybe we can go also in the late in the other conversation. But yeah, the third question is, what do you think the world needs right now the most?
Love.
This was coming directly. Yeah, yeah, love.
Yeah, love. That's the reason why I created an organization that is called Love, Love, and Love. The website is that love, love, and
Yeah,
love.org, that has or aims to
yeah.
create a more loving world, and it has
Mm-hmm.
many things. Maybe we can talk about this in the next session or interview.
Yeah.
But yeah, the world needs more love.
Okay, okay. Beautiful. So, one last question for the listeners, where the people can find you.
The easy way is to go to my website, judithmcosta.com. You have
Yeah,
all the links to social media there, and you have a
yeah.
contact form that includes my telephone number and email. Then if you can send a form, then shoot me an email. Look at the website. It's very informative. You have all the retreats, the private sessions, the workshops, the classes, and whatever you want, or any doubt that you have, just call and we will connect, and I will help you to go from where you are to wherever you want to go with love.
Perfect, perfect. It was a
And thank
powerful,
you.
it was a powerful conversation. I really enjoyed it, and
Thank you
appreciate your
so much.
time that you was here. And yeah, on all listeners, love go
Thank you.
out. Much
Yeah, thank
love.
you so much. Lots
Yeah,
of love for everyone and for you, Felix. We will be in touch.
thanks, thanks.